I would love to invite our very first investment squad to the stage. Sriram Giridhar, who leads Innovation Scouting Venture Capital and a strategic partnership at HHLA Next, the innovation unit of German heavy freight operator. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, it's just there. Thanks.
Is this the clicker? Yeah. So great to meet all of you, and thank you so much to the Open Top team and the entire PIN network for organizing this and having all of us here. The year is 2025, and we are finally having a port entrepreneurship conference. Just think about how niche it is. More often than not, I was just talking to Kato, that port has been clubbed with maritime side of life, or sometimes it's also dragged into the supply chain side of life. So it's very glad to be here. I'm representing HHLA Next. So HHLA is a German freight operator, freight logistics operator focused on port logistics, rail and inland freight. We are the innovation unit, where a certain amount of money has been set aside to pursue innovations and support startups and founders. So this is something where we work as a satellite business unit, trying to look more on the outside, trying to attract new business models and founders to be able to be able, as a tugboat drags a big ship, right? It's our mothership is HHLA. As you can see, founding 1885, 20 hinterland terminals, any type of cargo can be handled, 9 seaport terminals across 4 European cities. And this is a relationship where the old behemoth that is HHLA, with his years of experience, wants to go get into the new world, and that's also reflected sometimes by the design of the slides. This is much more of a corporate design slide, and as you go further, you would see more the startup-y side. Right. So with HHLA Next, what we focus on is exemplified by the 4 pictures here: terminal, trucking, rail, and intermodal. So these are our focus areas and digital business models, especially in these areas. So let's get better. So how we support industry founders and foster success is 3 ways. One is venture building. Sometimes there are no investable startups, or there are no startups at all in certain use cases or problem statements. In these cases, we try to do it ourselves and build ventures and then spin it out. One of them is present here. Guillermo from Pacify is here, so they're also a venture building from our side focused on digital access of authenticated access for truck drivers to terminals, a very base use case. I'm not even talking about AI. So these are the kind of use cases and problem statements we focus on. The second one is venture capital. We invest around 2 to 5 million in Series A, focused in and around HHLA's core, which would be the 4 pictures I showed before. We also do indirect investment in funds, in VC funds, all specialist funds in the maritime and heavy freight market. So this is something which I'll talk in the next slide. And lastly, partnerships, to be able to know the likes of all of you guys who've been here, who pursue innovations in the different fields of port logistics. And then sometimes startups come to me and say, can you connect me with the right people? Good thing is with PIN in there, I can say, hey, why don't you talk to PIN? So you can access 9, 10 different innovation hubs via PIN, and very happy for that. And something which I noticed with PIN is also that in all of the challenges that you have a timeline mentioned, that Q4 of 2026 is when this will be due. So that's also something which we try to project as HHLA Next. So coming to HHLA Next and our global reach, we've invested in 3 VC funds: TMV in the US, the Dock in Israel, and in Motion Ventures in Singapore. We've tried to target the best maritime and port innovation hubs in the world. And why is exemplified by these 2 the text boxes there. One is unfair advantage via global deal flow and network. our VC funds, maybe they do 10, 20, 30 investments, but the 3,000 startups who contact them for investments is important for us. We go through every one of these startups and extract the problem statements and the use cases. And then this helps with a research flywheel of use cases and problem statements. So any startup which comes to us and asks us to try to pursue an invest case or a partner case, etc., we have the context behind. Based on research. So I would say a strong research base is something which we've prioritized, and this is what we practice as well. And lastly, why get in touch? Here I focus on much more simpler, human instincts. We take a look. So if some startup tries to, a founder who's busting his or her ass, sorry for the language, but really they try to come and send a pitch deck, we take a look. Second thing is we validate, we try to see, bring this in the overall context of life. Have we looked at a certain startup before? What did we do? Is this business model translatory? Are there similar business models where we are already invested in? If not, how do we go ahead? Third one is we smart introduce. If it's not for us, we don't say no, okay? But we try to see if it's not for us, maybe it is for this person. I'll try to connect you with this person. Maybe he or she can help you better. And lastly, we give direct feedback. If it's a yes, it's a yes. It's a no, it's a no. If it's a maybe, then say put a timeline to it. So that should be it from my side. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sriram, for that. I really appreciate it. Next, we have Oliver Risse, who has spent the last 16 years investing in early-stage venture capital and impact startups around the world. You already know the stage, Oliver. Please welcome Oliver to the stage.
Yeah, thanks for having me again here. Yeah, actually, investing is all about relationships, is all about trust, is all about business and people at the end, right? Therefore, I'm very happy to be here again. I was here 2 years ago when PIN was actually incorporated here, so very happy to gain the stage here together with you. I started investing in venture capital early stage already in 2008 in Singapore, where I was involved with one of the earliest venture funds in Asia, actually, working in deep tech. For 5 years we did this actually, very interestingly, experienced very interesting opportunities. Also differences between Southeast Asia and Europe, that was interesting. Then in 2013 I started my own company, onenorth Ventures. It's a Singapore-based company working together with investors, but also with startups, because both have the same problem. Investors need the great founders, and founders need great investors. So I'm sitting in the middle, dealing with both of them actually to really see how we can generate value to both sides of the coin. Being an entrepreneur by myself, I incorporated 6 companies over the last 20, 25 years, so I can pretty much understand how founders think, what pains they are going through raising monies and developing businesses. So that's quite nice. In the ports industry, I was relatively new a couple of years ago, and then I was setting up for HHLA Next actually, for the Hamburg terminal operator. I was setting up the corporate venture capital arm, setting the investments globally, led up the strategy, and made the investments together with my colleague Sriram at that time. That was really nice. That also gave me an insight to the ports industry, and the ports and maritime and shipping industry, which is a tremendously important industry, still a very dirty industry, right? There's a lot of change ongoing, change in terms of transformation in energy and transformation in transportation. Both of them fundamentally changes over the next couple of years. Beginning of this year, I started to look again with my own company, onenorth Ventures from Singapore, to look for the European market, how we can accelerate growth and venture capital in the local industries here. Because there are geopolitical circumstances, supply chain circumstances that are changing. And that change is a big opportunity actually. So this year I started to cooperate with 2 Spanish entities actually, where I was very happy to working together with, because we see a lot of Spanish value add here for venture capital, early stage businesses, growing businesses, particularly out of Spain. It's Turquoise X, so Christian is there over here. My partner, he sits in Madrid here. And he also works together with a company from the Canary Islands, a venture capital fund from the Canary Islands called HHLA Next. And with both of them, onenorth, Archipelago, and Turquoise X, we came out with a study where you can see the download file over here, actually, that was just released yesterday, about the 2.6 trillion euro opportunity in ocean tech over the next couple of years. So I just want to digest this for you, 2.6 trillion. This is not small numbers anymore. This is exactly the significance of this opportunity. Right now, the entire global ocean economy has a level of 1.3 trillion, global value add. Well, over the next 5 years, this one is doubling in volume from 1.3 to 2.6 in 5 years. And that is a tremendous opportunity for all the startups here in this space based on fundamental changes in transportation and energy. So that is the invitation for all of you actually to really look into it. And what Christian and the team really looked into is the Spanish proposition, because Spain is one of the most dominant ocean tech, maritime, ports-related industries in Europe. And that is the opportunity. How can we now extract venture capital? How can we bundle monies into this sector to grow companies fast? And that is the European opportunity right now. So this study, I really like you to download it, read it, and it's a lot of information in there. It's really nice, I have to say. And this is the foundation of all business that we are going to do over the next couple of years in venture capital in Spain and in Europe and beyond Europe. 4 major columns that we are looking at. One, obviously, is ocean renewables. This is particularly in Spain a massive opportunity. Second one is on ocean decarbonization. That is a lot of interchange between the surface of the atmosphere towards the seas. A very big sector is actually going on ocean technologies, everything that floats above the surface, but also subsea. Critical infrastructure, protection, robotics, automation, there's a huge opportunity ahead of us. And obviously, that's where we're all sitting here in the room, the 4th major column is ports and shipping. So ports, transportation, logistics, maritime, freight tech is a very big opportunity as well. So all those sectors we analyze very carefully, covering roughly a deal flow of around 1,000 startup companies that we are tracking right now to see where are the champions, the hidden champions, or the potential champions in the future, to see where can we deploy capital. If I'm saying deploying capital, this is not about seed stage. We are going for the growth stage right now because the industry is maturing. A couple of years ago, 5-6 years ago, there was literally zero venture capital in maritime. This has changed significantly. If you just see the time horizon from 2010 to 2025, right, around 89% of all the 30 billion that has been invested into startup companies globally have been in the last 6 years. So and that is the opportunity I want to really address to the founders here as well. The opportunity is now. The opportunity is now and the next 5 years. And it needs corporates, it needs ports, it needs it needs people to really extract the value out of this, out of Europe, from a European point of view. So technology is there. A lot of maritime, ocean tech, deep tech is actually out of Europe. And we can and we have and we should accelerate this growth. So Turquoise is one partner actually here. So great company out of Spain. Let's do this together because I think Antonio said it in the morning. Nobody can do it alone, right? So it's a collaborative approach, right? Super happy with PIN that so many innovative people are here together, and it's about people. People make change. It's not about regulation. It's not about it's people. It's founders. It's ports, right? It's people who are thinking outside the box. Thank you very much. Please contact me later.
Thank you, Oliver. I really appreciate it. Now we have next in the lineup of VCs, Dylan Maxwell, who is the investor at Signal Ventures in London. The venture arm of the Signal Group focus on early stage maritime and supply chain. Welcome to the stage, Dylan.
Thank you, and it's great to be here. So my name's Dylan. As mentioned, I'm from Signal Ventures. We are the corporate venture capital arm of the Signal Group, focused on backing founders that are enabling more efficient global trade and everything that that encompasses, and I'll get into a little bit more detail on that in a second. We're backed by the Signal Group, who are a shipping technology company based out of Athens, and we've been operating as a venture capital fund since 2020. So a little bit more detail on the Signal Group. We've got three main arms. We've got Signal Maritime, where we manage a fleet of vessels ourselves. So we do the commercial management for a fleet of vessels. We don't own them. We have Signal Ventures, like I mentioned, and we have the Signal Ocean platform, which is a market intelligence tool allowing charterers to make more informed commercial decisions. So a little bit more detail on what Signal Ocean does. We combine public data, so that's things like that is AIS data, that's vessel position history, that's weather data, it's news, it's things like that. We combine that with the proprietary commercial information that our clients receive in their inbox, things like position lists, vessel lists, cargo lists, and we combine that all together to make one unified forecast of what the shipping market will look like in 6 weeks from now. We provide that to our clients who use that to make commercial decisions to manage their vessels. We're used by most of the major players in the chartering space today. I've actually been informed since I put this slide together that we now have over 300 companies on the platform. And most of our clients are either the charterers or cargo owners who have cargo that needs to be moved. They could be sort of vessel owners who have tonnage that need to sort of find cargo to fill that tonnage, or it could be brokers that bring those two together. All three of those groups make up about a third of our customers, and we allow them to make more informed commercial decisions. So that's the Signal Ocean platform, and it's useful to give you some context on the software that we provide to understand the value that we can add as Signal Ventures, which is our sort of corporate venture capital investing arm. So Signal Ventures, like Sriram mentioned earlier, we've got three ways that we support startups. We do direct investments, we do incubations through a structured entrepreneur in residence program, and we also do partnerships through data and technology to support companies more effectively that we've invested in or that we've incubated. So going through who we invest in directly, we like to invest in the sectors that we understand best. So that's the maritime and the shipping space where we started, but that's also the commodities tech space and the logistics and supply chain tech spaces that are so clearly linked to maritime and that can use the data that we produce. We invest pre-seed to Series A, and our primary objective whenever we make an investment is always financial return. If we can find some way of linking that up to our sort of broader strategic objectives of the broader company, we do that, but we're always making a decision on a financial point of view first. In the last 5 years, we've made 25 or so direct investments as well as 2 fund investments, and already seen 3 successful exits over the last 5 years. The 2 funds we've invested in, some of them we have some overlap with who Sriram mentioned earlier. They provide us a sort of a global source of deal flow, so one in Singapore and one in Berlin. The venture studio that we run, where we support startups, or where we support founders building a startup, we generally start by finding an expert founder, someone who understands a particular use case really well or an industry. We then provide them with access to all of the data that we produce through our platform. So through the Signal Ocean platform, they get access to all of our APIs, and we provide them with the support and the knowledge that we have from building our own company to turn that into a successful startup. Finally, we also give them access to capital that's needed to run the business for a year or 2 before spinning it off into an independent entity. We've done this successfully 6 times over the last 5 years. These are some of the logos of companies that we've incubated and are looking to run this more regularly going forward. They're always obviously focused on the industries that we specialize in. As for the data and tech partnerships that we run, here's a couple of examples of companies that we've collaborated with in the past. So these are all investments that we've made. Stormglass provides weather data, and we act as a distributor for their data. So running publicity, it's shown to all of the customers through our platform. Flagship Founders is another good example. They are a venture incubator out of Berlin, and they get access to all of the data that we produce from on the shipping world that they can provide to the startups that they incubate. Podcast is another good example. They provide container-level visibility to shippers, and we are able to act as a reseller for their data, and they're able to act as a reseller for our data with a reciprocal revenue share agreement in place. So these are the types of partnerships that we typically look to put in place when we make an investment, and most of our portfolio has some kind of broader synergy like this or a data sharing partnership that we're able to put into place. So to summarize, why does an investment from Signal Ventures generally make sense? Firstly, it's the backing of SignalOcean and the data and the tech that we're able to provide through SignalOcean. Secondly, we've got these sort of partnerships that we've set up across our ecosystem, and we generally encourage our portfolio companies to start using each other as distribution and product channels. We've got the maritime expertise that comes from spending the last 10 years building a successful maritime startup into a global brand that it is today. And we've got our network of customers and advisors that we've been selling to over the last 30 years that we can make introductions to across the world. So that's Signal Ventures at a very high level. Would love to have a chat if there are any startups or investors in the room who are interested in learning a little bit more about what we do.